the Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. Tonight, we are joined by Amanda and Melissa from the Krewe of Eve. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
So, I know that y'all were established in 1986. Tell us a little bit about the origins there.
At that time, there was a group of women who decided that they wanted to have a parade in Mandeville. And so they sent invitations out to women all over town and said, come to this meeting and let's talk about what we want to do. And they had like hundreds of women that showed up, and they rolled the next year with about 230, 260 ladies, and started the Krewe of Eve. And it was on Valentine's Day. And
Wow.
Their theme was famous lovers. And so, it was literally 36 years ago today that the Krewe of Eve started.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. I
Thank you.
completely forgot
You
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So y'all started rolling immediately then, huh? It wasn't a ball group or anything for a number of years first?
Right. They wanted to be a parade first. Yeah,
Nice.
they wanted a parade for Mandeville. There wasn't one, and not for women. And it's been going ever since. So now it's the only parade in Mandeville, actually. So
You lost Orpheus, huh?
right, I know.
Yeah.
We're hopeful one day they might come back, but
So, you mentioned that y'all's theme that year was famous lovers.
Mhm.
What is y'all's theme this year?
This year it's 35.2, and the best is yet to come. And it's really because last year would have been our 35th anniversary. We still wanted to celebrate that, so we added the .2. And it was kind of funny because last year it would have been, and the best is yet to come, and we weren't lying because it's still going to come eventually. So that's what we're going with this year, 35.2, and the best is yet to come.
Well, I also know that y'all's night is, while it's the only night rolling in Mandeville, but, it's a big hot topic over there, you know what I mean? Like, I know people that come from the South Shore, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to the North Shore. We're going to go see Krewe of Eve this year.
Yeah, it is. And the last year, the last time we rolled was actually on Valentine's Day as well. And I think it was some of the biggest crowds I had ever seen for Eve, and it just keeps growing and growing. And we keep hearing, so like all week we've been going to places and people are like, "You're at Eve," because we're wearing all the stuff and everything. We had the ball on Saturday, and we were in a store, and the checkout lady was like, "I heard the ball was awesome. You got to go to the ball," and so because our ball is casual, we call it our dinner dance. Where people are in jeans and everything, and we actually had for the very first time a marching band come out for the procession before we announced the court and everything like that. And it was just really cool. It kind of pumped up the crowd, and it was the first time we did that. And so I think there's the community's getting really pumped up for us. So it's getting exciting.
Well, I'm working Mandeville. I live over here but drive over there, but everybody at my work kind of lives in that neighborhood. And they all have basically a traditional spot that they do.
Right. Yeah.
And I've heard some stories about what goes down at Eve that is not airworthy, but
oh no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I think it's impressive.
Yes. I know. It really is. It's a good time, and we have so many families that come out and do it. And there are the spots, like everybody. I had my spot for the longest time before I was an officer, and now I have to work a little bit more for it. But we used to live right off the parade route. So even when I was on the float, everybody would go to my house, and then I wasn't there, but they were all in it, and then would walk out to the parade route. It was our thing.
So you had mentioned y'all's ball this past weekend, and that's more of a casual thing.
Yes.
Do y'all do a tableau at all?
What do you mean? What
Um,
is that?
Sort
like,
of a traditional sort of
like the maids
bring
and
out the queen.
Yes, we do all of that. We actually had the Fontainebleau High School band come out and get the crowd pumped up, and then we announce all of our lieutenants and sergeants. They come walk through. Then the officers do, and then we have all of our maids and queen, and then we have in their pages, and then we do a big second line all the way back, and then after that we party. We have a buffet, and then and a band. We had 4 Unplugged play for us this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, do y'all have a special way that y'all pick your royalty each year, or is it secretive? Or,
no, I mean, it's really like people apply for it. they put in for it, and then we kind of go through, try to match up our maids. Same thing with the maids, and who's going to fit together, who's going to be a good fit for our crew that year. We don't want to pick a queen with some maids that aren't going to really, they do a lot together during that time. There's lots of parties, and we want to make sure they're all going to gel together. So that's really what it is just making sure that group of people is going to fit together well, but no real, it's not like no secret process or anything. It's just we have a group of people who apply, and a lot of times it's somebody might be, I want to be queen, but not till queen 40 year 40 or they want to pick a year, and so they'll plan it that far out, and so and a lot of times it does work out for them that way too, because they, nobody else wants to apply that year because they know this lady wants to be wants to be queen 40, whatever it is. So it works out pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you wait a long time to be this because it's not it's not pocket change. It takes an effort there, and a lot of times they have their husbands as their king as well. Same thing with the maids. A lot of times they have their husbands as too. So it's something that you save up for a while. You plan out for a long time, and a lot of times they work with us during that time. This is kind of what I want to do. So we look for, years ahead too. So.
Well, if ever y'all have, a queen that's not married, I mean, I'll be king.
Happy for that. And we do have that.
There you go.
And sometimes we have husbands who just don't want to be the king, which, I can get to, I don't want to do any of that. And so they find somebody else. Or there's a rider who doesn't want to be queen, but her husband wants to be king. And she'll put him up for it, and so we can match him up that way too.
Is Eve now a mixed?
It's
parade?
not. No, it's an all-female parade. So the only men are in the royal court,
officers.
or we have some assistants. Like my husband rides on a float, but he's assists a junior maid. So he's not a rider, but he's there to hand her beads and do all of that,
or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because they're all strapped in and all of that stuff, and so it makes it in those dresses. It makes it hard for them to do stuff. So we have their little aids and everything.
So how many riders do you have these days?
So it's kind of funny. We started out 36 years ago with 200 and something, and this year we have 450 riders. So we actually have more riders this year than we did before COVID. So we have
that's a real impressive number. I mean, there's a lot of crews in town that don't have that much. So,
yeah. So we continue to grow. Number. We were worried, we wasn't sure if people were wanting to come back after, but we have. I mean, people are just ready. They're ready to get back to Mardi Gras and ready to get out.
Everything we've seen so far, it's just been crowds are unbelievable so far. Yeah. So I'm really expecting Uptown to be an absolute mess, especially with the condensed routes.
I know. Yeah. And I actually have to go look at some because, I think some of the spots where we normally catch parades is not on the route, so we got to go figure that out again. Yeah. We're lucky though; they have not shortened our routes. We're full. We've got our full route, so that works out pretty good. Yeah.
So I know that y'all have a very special throw that y'all do, which is going to lead back into another conversation. So y'all do the decorated apple.
Apples, yeah.
A la Eve, Adam and Eve.
Right. So it's actually just been a few years that we started doing this.
Yeah.
One of our members came up with the idea and made some and brought them to one of our meetings, our crew meetings, and everybody just loved it. It just she brought some and just said, here's some ideas on how to do this, and people ran with it. I mean, some people are so creative and have these big, gorgeous ones, and we're just kind of what we had time to do, we like doing them. I made a whole bag of them. She's made a bunch and brought all her supplies to make more this week so that we can be doing them, because it's a fun thing to throw, and you're not going to get it from any other crew, so
that's about the only thing I save, those and the balloons. The balloons,
I
mean, we go to so many parades, there's no way I can bring home all this stuff.
Right? Yeah, I know.
And that's what makes it special to make too, knowing that there are people that want to keep them. So
I have a shelf that's year round. So does he? That we keep all of our prize pieces. I showed you that one I got earlier.
Yeah.
But one thing that's real special with it is you said that it's something that people want to keep. Y'all had a craze going on this year with the hidden apples throughout
we did
Mandeville.
Yeah, and I think it's something that we're gonna keep doing. So we wanted to do something parade day, the day that would have been our parade day, and so we kind of like we kept coming up with what can we do, and we finally settled on this apple hunt, and it really kind of pushed the idea of our apples, because it was still fairly new for us. It got people out in the community. It was a free event, and they ended up with essentially an Eve throw, if you found it. And let me tell you, there were people everywhere. Like, it was highly coveted. So we, some of us got up early, like before the sun came up, and I had developed the map, so I knew where they were all gonna go. I scoped out the area and everything. So I had this map, and the map was like, people were like, I thought it was gonna be more detailed to it. I'm like, no, you have to go look. It's just kind of showing the area.
Yeah.
And so we had like a little bags like this, but we threw in some beads and a few extra things in there. And so we had them out there, and then we went to eat breakfast, and then at the moment that it went live, I posted it on our Facebook page at whatever time it was, we start at 7 or something, and it went live, and then we're like, let's go see if anybody's out there, and there were just people everywhere, scouring the streets, digging in bushes and everything. We had so much fun. We just literally drove around Mandeville, we did it all on our parade route. So we just drove around our parade route for hours and hours, and if we saw somebody find one, it was like, we were like on cheaters. We jump out of the vehicle, running up to them, we're like, let's take a picture. It was just hilarious. It really was with the camera running up to him and stuff. We really had so much fun with it, and all of our community had a lot of fun with it, and they really do ask us to do it again. Of course, we can't do it parade day. We're way too busy. Yeah. So we're talking about maybe doing it in the summertime, so that when kids are out of school and stuff like that.
Yeah, do it in the summer or during a holiday season or something like that. Yeah.
So we definitely want to do it again and make it a tradition, but we just have to work out when we're going to do that. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of work. We had to decorate them all. We had to get them out there before it was a long, exhausting day, but it was so worth it. It was just so much fun.
Well, I know there was 1 or 2 days where he went in between, on lunch break. He'd see, they posted one that looks like it's kind of close to where I work.
Where it was,
and, he
did you find any?
Looked.
I did not.
And he was like, he got there, and then he looked at the post, and someone had already updated. Yay! I got it!
Well, it is, twofold too, because we knew that we were going to need to grow our membership too. For we weren't sure how many people we were going to lose after COVID, and so it became our social media following. And so kind of the thing I was trying to do with it was get all of these people. It drove them to our Facebook page, because that's where the map was going to post. That's where the hints were when there were ones that were really hard to find. I started taking everybody was laughing at me nobody's going to get anything from that hint. It was like a close up of a leaf, and I'm like, I'm telling 5 minutes later they found it. They know what that leaf looks like, and they found it. So it drove people to our site, and then we had a year-long social media campaign where we were really posting a whole bunch of stuff and getting people interested in our crew and who we are and what we do. And I think that really helped keep our numbers up and grow too. So it's just showing the community that we're still here. We still want to do this for you. We still want to be involved. We want you to come join us. And so it worked. And so we're going to continue to do that and give back to the community. We don't get anything out of it. We're giving people throws. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing to do.
You probably, beyond just keeping the community happy about everything and giving them some sense of Mardi Gras, it's probably going to be more coveted this year, because the people that ran out and tried to get them, didn't.
It really was. I was so surprised.
I tried to get one because we ride that day. I can't go to your parade.
Right, you never get anything. Yeah. We were so surprised how many people were really interested. We didn't know when we put it out there. We were I have no idea what's going to happen. We even had the mayor. We had one hidden by City Hall. So we went out there and chatted with the mayor, took a picture with them, and that one went fast. That one people found really quick, but some of them went really fast. Some of them took a long time, but it was just so funny seeing people digging in bushes, and they had pickers and moving around, sending their little kids under bushes and stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun to watch, and we were just so happy that there was that interest there too.
Yeah, we've gone out trying to find lots of various things. What was it? The little.
Oh, the records. The first on King's Day, the Funky Uptown crew usually rolls right behind Funny 40 Fellows,
Uh-huh.
and their signature throw is decorated records.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Like little 45s or
yeah.
whatever.
They didn't roll last year, so what they did was they hid their records, just like y'all, along their route
Oh, wow.
at
Okay.
various places.
We went everywhere.
And
Couldn't find it.
We stopped at like 7 or 8 different places, and it was like tuck and roll. You jump out and go run to look and like you said, looking in a bush or looking in a potted plant or whatever, looking to find the record. It's like no. And I'd look at the map and be like, okay, I got to go up, 4 more blocks.
Next one,
This bar over here might have one.
I don't know who started that, but there was a lot of little scavenger hunts, and it was
Well, that's
just great.
funny because I didn't
Yeah.
even know about them, so that's really funny that we all just kind of came up with the same thing, or maybe
Yeah.
somebody did and everybody
I
kind
don't
of.
know. That's what I'm
know.
saying. They sort of
Yeah.
all popped up right around the same time when,
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
well, it was Mardi Gras time, so I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, we're all
everybody
trying to
just
find a
something.
way to do
Yeah.
something.
to do.
Yeah.
Well, it reminded me a lot of like in the early 2000s, there was a craze called geocaching.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, where people
Georgia
would hide
did
the
that.
little boxes.
Yep,
Yeah.
my daughter and my husband were so into that, and we'd go on vacation, like out of the country, and they were like, "We have to figure out where the geocaches are when we
Yeah.
get there." And I'm like, "Really? Walking around a park, climbing a tree, and stuff, trying to find geocaches?"
Like those trees
But-
at
But so
home.
many people,
Yes.
but so many people had fun
So
with it, and I
fun,
think
yeah.
that was one of the things that,
yeah,
for lack of a better word, struck that nerve with the scavenger hunt that y'all did and a couple of other crews.
we actually kind of laughed about it. We were like, "Can we geocache this? Like, is there a way to where?" I'm like, "We're not that high tech yet, like, but it would be really cool to have an app, and like maybe one day we'll have some an app, and maybe just sign the apple and we'll put it back for the next person."
So, what are some of the other throws that y'all do?
So this year we have some really cool. We have like a whole set. There's a bracelet that matches this too. Our light up stuff. We have a train float this year, so we have a LED train whistle that we're going to be throwing. Still, my favorite thing is the snake.
The snake. We should have brought a snake.
I know. Actually, we talked about it too.
Yeah,
We didn't even bring
sorry.
it. The snake. You want to tell them about the snake?
Like
It's
3-4
long.
foot long. It's one of the reverse sequence snakes with
okay.
the Krewe of Eve on it. And
Oh, wow.
It's just fun, and
Yeah.
I know last time I rode was I think the first
The
time
first
we
time we
had
threw
them,
it,
and
yeah.
people were going nuts over them. And
Yeah.
when you try to throw something else, like no, we want a
the
snake.
snake, yeah.
And-
Yeah, it was
Yes.
it was our first specialty throw. This year we also have a Krewe of Eve. It's a plush bead dog, and it says Eve on the side, and that's gonna be brand new this year, and that's gonna be huge. I know we couldn't bring it because we don't have them
Yeah,
yet. We
it's-
get them on. We actually get them parade day,
Yeah.
and the reverse sequin plush apple too. We don't have
Yes.
those yet either. We'll get those parade day. They're part of a package that just gets preloaded on our float, so we don't even see them before then. So we keep talking about them, but we're like, I don't have anything to show you because we don't get them yet. And of course the apples actually got held up.
The shipping.
there's a
Issues
lot
and
of
everything.
shipping.
Yeah. So we were so fortunate that we got everything except for those plush apples, and so they were actually. I think they were coming in today. I don't know if they
I think
made it.
that
I
was
have to
the
talk to
date,
Christy and see
yeah.
if they came in. Yeah. And so we were going to give them out parade day. Like everybody has to come stop by the U-Haul we have parked out there for all the collars and everything, and grab your apples. But I mean, there was a point where we were like, I don't know if we're going to get any throws in with all the issues, but we were very fortunate that we got them all in except for this one thing. So even if that doesn't even make it in a time, we're like everybody's just happy to have something to throw. So
Yeah, I've
that's gonna be
also
pretty good.
always done a good amount of doubloons too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a doubloon collector, so I have to go
same
through
here.
my insurance agent, who happens to be an Eve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the doubloons. The only issue we had with the doubloons is they were supposed to be in two colors. They were supposed to have a lavender and a silver, and they all came silver. And we're like, I don't care, we get them. Like, just send them to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were just happy with that. But yeah, love to I draw the artwork for the sorry, hit my mic. Draw the artwork for the doubloons. I do the posters, the doubloons, the cups, all of that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I got my bronzes yesterday.
Good.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, it's always fun to be in a night parade. Just anything light up is just fun and exciting, and people get really excited about. So,
What else do we have this year?
like the light up crowns,
The footballs, the Eve footballs this
the
year
Eve
that light
footballs
up.
light
That's
up.
new.
the big
Balls?
bouncing
Ooh.
balls that light up
Yeah.
the new bounce.
Yeah, I like those.
And I mean, even something as simple as the foam LED
Yeah.
light up necklaces.
Yeah.
There's a whole
These are my
LED package
favorite.
that Eve offers with the Eve logo, and it's like if they can light it up, we
We'll
figure
do
out
it,
a way
yeah.
to
Yeah.
throw it. Yeah,
The big apples, like because we have this apple bead, but then we also have ones that it's like 3-dimensional apples that light up that are all around it. That one's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you have that the acrylic ones. We were just talking about it on the way
the
here.
glittery.
Yeah, it's an acrylic apple, and it's glitter on the back, on the back side of it, and those are really.
See,
cool.
I'm bad. I like to bring a lot of stuff back to Atlanta too, but I'm like, I know I need
She
to throw
buys it
some
to
of this,
throw.
but I need, I like to bring it back. Some people there appreciate it. Others have no clue why it's all so exciting. I have a friend there who's from here, and when I was telling her about the plush bead dog, she lost her mind. But other people are like, bead dog?
Like,
What?
what is
Like,
that?
what are you talking about?
I know. So she was like, the first thing I do, because I pick up all her throws for her because she's not here. And so she's like, the first thing I need to do when we go through the throws is pull out all the stuff I need to bring home. Like, oh my God. Like, I get all the throws and I just want to throw everything. I love it all. But like, I don't want to walk off with anything. I got to get new stuff next year. So I just throw everything. She's like, no, I got to keep a whole bag full of stuff.
Well, I have a buddy that did that one year. He rode with us, and when he got his crew bag with all the light up and cool stuff, he was going through everything, and he was like, oh, this is awesome, this is awesome. And he was saving everything for his nephew.
Right.
I was like, dude, we can go to the store and get him
Yeah,
some light up stuff.
yeah,
And he's like,
I know.
throw that on the parade. And he was like, no, this is so cool.
Yeah.
They even
No,
got
I
our
do.
parade name on it, you know?
Yeah.
I do. I mean, this year my daughter's riding in the parade, but like my nieces and nephews and stuff, I'll make like a little bag so when I see them, I can just throw them all the cool
Special,
stuff.
yeah.
Actually, we used to do. Y'all probably don't do it now. When I was on a crew float, when I was a
Pass it
lieutenant,
around,
I used to tell everybody, if you have kids, bring a pillowcase for every one of your kids, and we would all pass them around the float, and everybody would drop in one of a throw that they bought that they like to do it. So when you saw your kid, you just hand them the pillowcase, and it has everything in it so a little something from everybody, and it was always kind of cool. But then we had so many moms on the float who were like, these pillowcases keep coming around.
So then you start like, how many kids do you have?
It was just so funny, but it was so great because every year, everybody you reuse the pillowcase every year, and my daughter would go, and I'm like, I don't even know what's in it. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. There was always something I wanted to give her, but then stuff from everybody else too. So that was always kind of fun and cool. But so my daughter's riding. She was a junior maid a few years ago, but for her high school graduation, we gave her a ride in the parade. That was her present, and so she's coming to ride this year. So
Really excited. She's going to be there. Yeah.
But I don't get to ride. I'm on the officer float, so Melissa's got to play mom. And be the mom next to her. I'm like,
I'll take good care of her. I promise. I'll keep her.
I was like, harness her in. I don't want to see her dangling over the float. That's fun.
So have you ever ridden as royalty?
I haven't. It's not something I've ever really wanted to do. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like riding with a bunch of people and having that kind of fun. I think I do it, but I also don't want to be like stressed in. I do like to play dress up in this stuff at our den. I'm like, they have found me walking around. Not the new, not the collars that are for this year, but we have some old ones from original crew collars that are a little bit smaller, and somebody will walk in and I'm walking around in it. And of course, my daughter is a junior maid. She has come home and I'm wearing her crown. And I don't get a crown. I have to wear yours. So, and she doesn't care. Like, she just laughs at me because I did tell her, I'm like, you're getting a crown. I'm going to wear those things. I know.
I mean, the collars are just so gorgeous. I mean, as you know, like just so elaborate.
Yeah. So it's never really been my thing, but I do like being a part of like getting all of that together and the background. Like Melissa got involved this year because she came in early, so she was helping us set up for the ball, and it made her really appreciate what we do so much more.
How much work they put into it.
It's
amazing.
It's a full-time thing for a while.
Yeah.
And party was fantastic, and it was just to see it all come together, and all the hard work they put in, and after taking a year off, it was wonderful.
Yeah. So like I like that part of it, but I can't. I don't know that I would ever. I don't know that I would ever do it, but never say never.
Yeah.
If I win the Powerball, maybe.
That's what I was asking. I'm like, well, if I ever did living out of town because of all the events and stuff, I'm like, I would have to come back a lot,
yeah.
but kind of back to I
If
like
I win
being the
the
generic
Powerball-
writer, so I'm okay with that. It's fun on the flip.
That's honestly, that's my role. I like
Yeah.
that.
Being
Like,
the rider, yeah.
I would probably do it if a friend of mine was like royalty. I'd go on the float with him or
Right.
something like that. But other than that,
That's
Yeah,
what I was like.
okay.
If I win the Powerball and I be queen, I'll just pay for you to be made too. So
Okay. Done.
There
we
you
just
go.
gotta find you
That'll
a
work.
dude. We gotta find you a dude.
Hey.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, look at that! I got a date on Valentine's Day.
So who is y'all's royalty this year?
Barbara Burns and her husband, they have been so wonderful, beautiful, and they actually, they gave us all like beautiful gifts. She makes pottery. She made me this like pottery plate as just a thank you for her being queen. I'm like, thank you. Like, you're thanking me. We're so happy that you're here, and so actually she does have. I think it was her husband's brother, and so her sister-in-law are also a maid, and so it is kind of like a family thing. And I think some of the pages are related and everything. They're just so excited, so beautiful. Husband does the king is toasting Hail Eve all the time. So excited to be a part of it. They were actually a maid and a duke the last time we rode, and by the end of that, they're like, "Yes, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
We're gonna be king and queen," and it was wonderful. And I think we actually talked about that. We have there's of course lots of parties and stuff for royalty, and so we had a luncheon for like the past queen hosts a luncheon for the current queen, and then all of the other queens are invited. So we had like Queen 8, Queen 13, they're all not everybody comes all the time, but it goes back pretty far, and everybody talks about it, and they're like, most of them had been a maid at some point, and then they were like, this is so awesome, I want to do it again, and the only way you can do it again is by being queen. So we're like, we just really need to get more maids in. That's what we need to do, is get everybody excited about being a maid, and then we have all kinds of queens set up for years. Yeah. So yeah, that's what she did. She was a maid last year and was like, this is great, I want to do it again, and did it again. And we loved her. Like, she was so easy to work with, just beautiful queen. Husband was excited. That's always good, because you get support to do all the things you want to do. And so we're like, we're on board for this. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize how much the king and queen have to do throughout the year, even though they may not be putting it on. It's just events that they have to do.
Yeah. And of course I'm like, hey, I need you to come do this radio interview with me. And like the Children's Museum in Mandeville is doing a little like parade Mardi Gras thing February 28th. And they're like, can the Krewe of Eve come? Can your queen come? Can your pages come? Can so there's just so many things that they have to go and do. And occasionally we'll get like, we want a speaker from Eve. Can you bring your queen? So it's more community things, like going to school sometimes and talking and, things like that. And, of course we have this, luncheon. It's in a restaurant. Somebody goes to the bathroom wearing their crown, and everybody's like, what is this? And they're all waving. Everybody's asking us what it is. Like, everybody waves at them, the queen wave, and then we went out into the main room to take a group picture, and everybody moved out of the way for us. They're having lunch, and they just like, I'll get off of my table. You can come stand right here and take the picture. And it just, it's just really fun and cool to see. So they just have a very important role in our community. They have to be somebody that our community look up to too, and,
especially being, you're the lone act at this point, so they're the king of Mardi Gras,
and everybody,
queen of Mardi Gras,
right? And and Barbara, I'm telling you, everybody they're like, she is the nicest person. I think she's a retired teacher from, I want to say Southeastern, from college, and just the sweetest, most personable person, and we're just so lucky to have her as our queen.
It's really cool to see the excitement leading into a parade, and hearing when the entire crew knows who the royalty are and knows the great things that they do in the community, and it's just as exciting after the parade. Not just from the spectators' point. Of being like, I just saw a parade, and they've got, all the light up throws, the specialty throws, the doubloons, the cups, so on and so forth. But, from the riders are super excited. Yeah. And you gave a perfect example of how, your a maiden Duke basically last year rode, and they were so excited that they were like, "We need to do this again. We're going to kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
We're going to be the royalty this year."
Yes.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know?
I know, and it's so funny, and like our queens are so proud to be queens. Like we have
Yeah.
this, we see all the past queens every year. We have a couple of events that we do with them, and all the past queens come, and they all come and wear their crowns, and it's just so beautiful to look at them all and see like how different they are because they select their own crown, and just see their personality through that, and they all are so supportive of each other, and they're like, if you need any help with this, here's all the advice that you need, here's things that you didn't think about while you're on the float. You might need to do this and this, and maybe we should get this type of gift for this person. Here's what helped me, and different things like that. They're all so supportive of each other, and they're just like they always say, once a queen, always a queen. Like you're gonna represent the Krewe of Eve forever now, not just as a member,
Yeah.
but as a queen, as a royalty, and they're part of history now, and that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the other reason I can't be royalty, because I would just keep the crown on. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm gonna mow the lawn. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, at home you
Like-
can, but you
Your
reign
crown.
for a whole year, so you can wear it to everything for that whole year, and then after that, you just wear it in your house, and then while
Or
you're taking
mowing
a
the
bath.
yard.
Yeah, taking a bath, and then just when at those couple of parties. But I said the same thing. I'm like, I would never take that thing off. But they all say it's kind of funny because you want to wear the crown. They all say it's incredibly uncomfortable, and so they're like, it hurts right here. I need to get some padding, and that's the things that they help
Yeah.
each other with, like that kind of stuff. Like you need to get this kind of padding and put it right in there, and hold. They're like,
They say
it's
a crown's heavy.
right. That's what I'm gonna say. They always say heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it is so true because they're like, it is incredibly uncomfortable, beautiful as can be,
Yeah.
but really uncomfortable. But they will not take it off. It doesn't matter how bad it hurts. You're wearing that thing.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
So I haven't seen. Well, obviously, I haven't seen your parade since we ride that day.
Yeah.
So, what other sort of things are in your parade? Do you have local bands? Because there's a lot of good bands in that area.
Yeah,
Or-
we do. All of the high schools
school.
all
Mhm.
come in. And have marching groups. this year it might not have quite as many, with all the COVID stuff. We absolutely have all the schools. We get so excited. The last few years we've had the Saya cow. Have you guys seen
Oh, yeah.
that?
Yeah.
The cow. It's like iconic for our community, and they actually got it all fixed up, and is rolling in our parade. And we didn't think it was going to, but I think they got a little Hurricane Ida damage, so they were able to get it together, and we're gonna have the cow in our parade again.
It's my lunch spot.
People get
Yeah,
so
it's-
excited.
yeah.
Yeah. People get so excited about that. It's always kind of fun. I don't know, a lot of bands. I think we're kind of sticking with, the first thing we did was make sure all the kids can get in. Like all the marching groups and everything in our parade this year. We had like everybody else had COVID. We had to pay all of our contracts still last year, even though
Right.
we didn't ride. So that kind of we didn't go for some of the bigger groups. This time, we always have the mini milkshakers.
Yeah.
Always have we have those staples and stuff like that. But it's still gonna be it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We're
We
gonna be
love
so
them. They
excited.
came on the show a couple weeks ago, and
Nice.
we went to their little King's
Yeah,
Day
their thing.
parade,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
They're just so much fun.
Yeah, they are. They are. We love them. They're so fun. They're always excited to be in our parade. So that's kind of cool too.
I love how they really, just sounds like you do too. Just really stick with the community and like, well, this is our first spot. Where if we can do something
Right.
in this area, we're doing it.
And they're big. They're really big in our
Mhm.
community. They do a lot. They participated in a lot of things, and they're right there with us anytime. They're like, "Can you guys come too?" We're both organizations are so big in our community that they do, and we've actually been picking up on some of our community things. We do keep Mandeville beautiful. We do once a quarter. We go do trash pickup on spots along our parade route. We just want to be able.
Mhm.
We know that parades are messy. It takes a lot to clean it up, and one of the ways that we give back is to do that sort of thing. And we do like the Mandeville police gift giving program, so we collect toys for kids every year. And there's this new thing we do. I say new, we've done it for a couple of years now, but I don't know if you've heard of Granny Gertie. it's actually a member, but she dresses up like an old lady, and she gives out toys at Christmas and Easter baskets at Easter to kids in need, hundreds of them. And we go, and she donates a lot of that herself, but she also collects donations for some of the things. But what we do is go and help her stuff some of the stockings and Easter baskets and everything, and go help her with that. Yeah. I actually don't know how that came about. I have to ask her one day. But she has like a little sticker with her picture on it as Granny Gertie. Like she looks like a granny, and but if you see her, I mean, she's beautiful. She's young and beautiful, but she does a great job of Granny Gertie. I have no idea where Granny Gertie came from, but yeah, we do. We have a whole committee that comes up with our volunteer opportunities, so that we can get a little more involved in the community, and we're hoping to grow that more and more over the year. And it's kind of hard because we're like being a part of Mardi Gras group that's your I want to go out and party thing. Like especially being a women's group, we're like. The time that you don't have your kids, you want it to be like your party thing. So it's hard to say, give up some more time and come pick up trash. You know what I mean? To do that sort of thing. So it is hard. So we're kind of doing it a little slow. Introducing a few more things. Like we just started doing the Keep Mandeville Beautiful a couple of maybe 2-3 years ago. Yeah, glitter litter crew. We have vests that say glitter litter crew, and we're out there picking up trash. And we're not convicts. We're
I was about to ask if y'all were the ones in the orange jumpsuits.
Did it have
wear
glitter?
Orange jumpsuits, but yeah, we've got glitter on everything. I know it is really funny. We always say that because people like blow the horn at us. And we're like, we're not convicts. We're just part of Krewe of Eve. So it's always kind of funny, but it's fun. It's also fun when we get enough people. It's quick too. Yeah. We do it in like an hour.
So one other question about the apples. I know that a lot of the crews that do decorated throws, one of the big things that's become part of their crews is the social events related to the apples. To where besides just the scavenger hunt, but a lot of the crew, like whole floats will get together, or even the whole crew will get together at some spot and do a big apple decorating party, and it's a big affair, to where they'll have, some of them will even have like a band playing while they're all decorating their apples,
I'd say her poor big nice table at her house is been stamped by glitter and permanently in some places.
I mean, my husband's used to it. We're he's like, there's so much glitter, and I'm just like, you've been married to me for how long now? Used to it. We live in glitter. That's how we live. But yeah, he built this dining room table, and it's basically become a crew craft table. But so I'm not on a crew float. So, but I still like to do that camaraderie. So I have about 10, I guess, of my closer friends that all ride, and so we do it. We'll come together and do it at my house, and the glitter just doesn't go away. It doesn't. But I was like, I'm gonna have to every couple of years sand down this table. I can't read it because it just does not come off the table. I cannot get it off.
I deal with oil and gas guys from all over the world. And they come in and they're like,
why are you covered in glitter?
Why are you sparkling? Where'd you go last night?
My friend has her boyfriend came over and helped us put together some of the stuff for the dinner dance. And I was I had the spray glitter on some things, and I was spraying it, and the wind blew. And he's like, my work shoes are covered in glitter. I have to go to work tomorrow covered in glitter. I'm like, welcome. This is what it takes to date my friend. Welcome to the crew. It was kind of funny, but yeah, we live it. So my husband, we've been laughing about it. So part of the decorations that are made were we have the Krewe of Eve this year. We actually unveiled a new float this year. First time ever, we have a Krewe of Eve themed float. Yeah. And then it has these big apples on it that say Eve on it, and then our royal floats are going to have apples on them too, like on the sides of them. And those are removable. And so we used them for our dinner dance this year. And so I kept saying, I'm going to build some stands that are going to hold them. Well, I ended up making the stands look like Mardi Gras trees, and the tops of them had beads in them.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really kind of cool. And so my husband helped me make them. And so Melissa and I spent 2 days. We hung glitter tulle on it first, and then purple, green, and gold, and then put the beads on it to kind of make it look a little bit more. And so my husband had to we decorated it, and then he put the tops on the bottom too. It was in 4 pieces, and so he was like screwing them all in, so the glitter just like
Glitter
rained
bomb,
down on him. So then we go get lunch, and we run into some friends, and the guy's like, "You're glistening." Like it was like in his beard and his mustache, and he's bald on top, but it was just like complete glitter. Then we go back because we had rehearsal at the casting center for like all the people who walked down, and somebody was like, "Is your husband here?" And I'm like, "He's here somewhere." And they're like, "Oh, I see him. I see his head glistening." It's like glitter. Yeah. And I was like, it just doesn't come off. So I think for like 4 days we were just completely covered in glitter. So I'm like, he finally was just, at first he was like, I can't deal with this. And finally he's like, I'm just done. Like, it's just what I look like
deal.
right now. Yeah. It was funny.
Well, we've been decorating shields for our crew.
Oh yeah.
And I try to do all of my glittering outside.
Yeah.
But like
Really smart,
just
but it
outside
still
of my
comes
back
in.
door,
Yeah.
it looks like
But the
just
weather,
glitter brick.
Yeah, it's
Just
been like
dog
we get the
glitter.
cold
Yeah, it's
snaps
been-
and everything, and I'm like, I
Just
can't.
dog
So I bring as much in
glitter.
as I
You
can.
said the dog.
With those
The
big
dog is
pieces,
glittered.
you got to do outside, and so my entire driveway, my car, and
Yeah.
like everything. Yeah. I know. Well, she said when we got here, it was like, his yard looks like yours, and I was like, I know. Like stuff everywhere, painting, glittering. Yes, I think you're gonna be doing some more apples tomorrow.
Try to get some more
With my
done for the
sister.
parade. Yeah.
How many floats altogether do y'all have this year?
I think we have 22 this year.
Nice.
Yeah. And we use Mardi Gras decorators as our float vendor.
Okay.
The last time we rolled was the first time we used them. We loved them, and so we're keeping them, and they're wonderful to work with. So they're the ones who made our E float and our apples and everything.
Where can people follow the crew?
We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Krewe of Eve, and our website is krewesofeve.com.
Okay.
That's where our membership forms are. People come sign up. But yeah, we're pretty active on our social media pages too.
Yeah, I follow y'all, and
Yeah.
like I said, I saw when the apple scavenger hunt was going on, the craze with that, and I see y'all's updates regularly on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Twitter, but it's kind of back of mind kind of thing, unfortunately.
We're trying to catch, like, we have such a different, like, age gap of people. Like, my daughter's age, they're not on Facebook all that much, so they're on Instagram or Twitter, and so we kind of had to catch our younger crowd that is coming up, and we want to get them in our crew. We really have to kind of branch out on some of that, but it is kind of funny because someone remembers, like, Twitter. I don't know what that. Or somebody was like, "Did you put that on the tweeter?" Yeah, it was a tweeter. Yeah, like, all right, I'll get my kid to look at it. Like, okay. So, because I always tell them, like, we're going around taking all these pictures, and they're like, "Did you put that on the Twitter?" I'll get my kid to pull that picture up. It's kind of funny, but yeah, that's where that's how we try to get some of that younger crowd on it.
Yeah.
I know y'all getting warmed up for your ride. I hope y'all have a fantastic time.
I just need to get my arm ready.
We
Stretch
both
it
need the
out.
good weather to stick around.
It looks like it's going to. I think it's going to
Yeah, it
rain a
should
lot
be-
on Thursday.
Yeah, it should
Yeah.
be okay. We should
It'll
be
go
fine.
Good
through.
night.
And it's not even that. Like, the last time I saw it, like, there was a low of 40, which is not that bad considering how it's been lately. And then during the day, we're like close to 60. So
Yeah.
you have plenty of time to get
Beautiful
you
day
sorted and
night.
everything before you start freezing that night.
Yeah, a few days ago, I was looking at the weather, and
Little
I
nervous.
told him over the
a
weekend,
little-
I was like, I'm not going to curse this. I'm not going to curse this. And
Yeah.
he was like, it's bad weather. And I was like, I'm not going to curse this.
I know.
And I looked at it
They
today,
don't
and it
know.
looks like
Yeah.
it looks like we're going to have beautiful weather.
I know.
Yeah, when
I
you had
hope
said
so.
it was like 2 weeks ahead. They don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Yeah.
hard
They
to
gotta worry
tell.
about
But
that.
it does make me nervous because there is so much rain that's supposed to happen that day before that I'm like, please don't back it up. Like, don't slow
I
down.
get nervous every year, and
I
we've
know.
been fortunate so far, so we're going to keep that luck going.
My first year on the board was I don't know, in the 30s, and it stormed. I mean, like there was a certain point on the route where it just poured. Like, I had the most fun that year. Like, I kept telling everybody, if you keep dancing, you don't ever get cold. You just keep moving, keep moving. It was, and I really did. I had a blast that year. So I was like, And I kept saying, just because it rained on my parade doesn't mean I was going to let it rain on my parade. You know, I was
I'm
going to
cool
have
with
fun
it so
no
long
matter
as
what.
people stick around.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
exactly.
If it empties, then I'm like,
Like, if
Yeah.
they stuck it out
otherwise-
and the standing
Yeah.
out there in the rain, then
Yeah,
I was going to
they
be there to
deserve
it.
throw
Yeah.
to them. And they were. I mean, they just popped up tents and just stood out there and, you know, were waving to me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to keep throwing, you know. And I did. Like, I felt the same way. I'm like, they deserve that.
Yeah.
They stuck it out for us, so I need to stick it out for them.
Do either of y'all have a favorite theme that the crew's ever done before, to where it's like, oh, you know, the float was the coolest name or the coolest themed float that year?
I feel like every year I've ridden, I was like, ours was the best. Just because it's always so fun to go with the theme. But the Under the Big Top was kind of fun, and we were the clown car.
Yeah.
And just, getting in. I mean, our costumes are always the decorated sweatsuit. That's always been the thing. But we got the wigs and.
Yeah, we did the LED clown wigs, so that was really kind of fun. And it was kind of funny because they were like, we didn't think y'all were going to like to have those. But we did the clown wigs, and I was like, are you kidding me? It's perfect. We all, like, our hair doesn't get frizzy. You know, we just stuff it up in this thing, and we don't have to worry about it. In fact, I think I didn't even stuff it in. I think I just had braids coming out of it. It was just even funnier. It was so funny. I had longer hair then. But, yeah, that one was cool. Let me think. So I think my favorite costume was on the board because we get to wear different costumes, you know, and we have some fun themes. I think my favorite theme was when it was Live Your Dream, and it was like this kind of women empowerment theme, and all of the floats were like powerful women themes, and so each board member we got to pick who we wanted to be and dress up and I'm blanking on her name right now, but the baseball woman, what was her name? Shoot, I have completely blanking on it, but I wore them. But like when they like during the war, when all
League of Their Own.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, and so I had one of that.
Actress's name.
Yeah, I'm just completely blanking on her.
Yeah,
name right now.
the original.
So
like
that
Gina
was
Davis.
yes,
Not her,
but the real person.
Yes.
Yeah, like completely blanking on her, and I can't believe I can't remember it. So that theme I absolutely loved. But my favorite costume though was when the officers were villains, and it was I think it was what was our theme? It was something like storybook, you know, things like that, or like movies, or I don't know what it was, or something like that. There's so many that are similar like that. But we decided to be villains, and I was Effie Trinket from Hunger Games.
All right.
And I made my dress, whole dress, the whole front of my dress was like I glued on individual butterflies, like all on the dress. It took me forever. so that one I really loved. And I did the big wig and the big golden wig, and I had a headpiece with LED butterflies in it and everything. And it made the whole thing. So it was actually kind of fun. I really liked that one. Yeah.
Do you know if the crew's ever run with like a grand marshal, like a celebrity?
We do. Well, we do local people.
Okay.
This year we don't have a grand marshal funding and float. You know, we kind of cut back on some of our floats because they do usually have a float with like our advisors, and so we kind of put that. Usually our captain has her own float, and she's riding with the rest of the officers this year, just to kind of. We needed to cut back on some of the things that we do for our crew as well. And so we didn't want the crew to just get all the cuts. We needed to do that too. We wanted to show that we wanted to keep moving forward. And so there were some things we needed to cut out. And actually, it's going to work out great because we now have this Eve float that we get to ride on for the first time. So it's kind of cool. So we didn't do a grand marshal this year, but we have in the past. And it's usually some locals, community people, North Shore people. I'm trying to think of who was our last. We actually had. We rode on Valentine's Day last year, so we had our police chief and his wife.
Okay.
So we had a couple last year. Usually it's just a female. You know, it's usually a female. We've had Erica Spindler, who's a local writer. Lindsay, what's her last name? Lindsay, she's a local singer. She was on American Idol a few years ago.
I know who you're talking about.
It starts with a P, and I just can't think of it. And
Lindsay.
American Idol.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We've had different people. We kind of try to match it up to our theme sometimes. Years ago, we had like a park theme, and so we had somebody from Pelican Park, like the president of Pelican Park, not president, whatever, like the big manager of Pelican Park. She was the grand marshal. I just kind of match it up to that sort of thing. So we unfortunately didn't have one this year, but we'll bring that back. We definitely will.
Yeah.
Because we'd like to get them. It kind of gives a different dynamic to the parade. We don't have like the big celebrities. We're not Damien. We can't bring that in. But it's a way for us to thank parts of our community too.
Yeah.
It was great to have a police chief and his wife. It was Valentine's Day. They got to spend that day together. It was his last parade too, because he retired.
He was the outgoing.
Yes.
sheriff.
So that was great to be able to do that with him. So it just brings a little something extra to our crew too.
So y'all ride on the 18th this
Yes.
year. It's the first Friday of the Mardi Gras season, shall we say? That 2 weeks. Has that always been y'all's day?
It is. It always has been. We've never changed it. We've had the traditional route.
You ever thought about moving it to Thursday so I can see it?
They might consider it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because one of the websites had the date wrong. They had it on Thursday,
right, they did.
and we could not get them to change. Like, I couldn't find them. I kept emailing, I kept messaging on Facebook. Finally got in touch with them, but everybody was freaking out, thinking we changed the date to Thursday, and even our members are like, it's on a Thursday this year?" We're like, "We've never told you it was on a Thursday. Why do you think?" But it's one website had it wrong, and so. Really did. Like, people were texting me going, "I had family coming to town on Friday and now it's on Thursday." I'm like, "No, it's still Friday."
Just tell them, like, Hercules didn't get a chance to see it.
Well, now we know, though, if we ever try to make it on Thursday, our community is going to revolt. So unhappy with
Thursday
it.
is a bad day.
Yeah.
Thursday's not going to happen.
Wednesday, maybe, whatever.
Or maybe y'all's can change.
I know.
And
Have
you
you
come
guys
back
thought
and
about that?
leave.
Generic parade rider, do you want to change your parade? I swear you got me thinking, like, I was telling Melissa I need to make her own doubloon that says generic parade rider.
I love that idea now.
It's
I
great.
think you just created a trend.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
If I actually get her to make one, I'll get her to make
Please
two.
do.
I mean,
I
since
would
I'm gonna
really
be your
appreciate
king and all.
that.
That's right.
I love it.
So funny.
Oh, man.
So you had mentioned y'all's original captain. So y'all have a different captain from the original?
We do. This Christy Fair is our current captain, and I want to say she is our third captain that we've had. And she's been captain 6 years since I've been on the board.
Sure.
Most of our board had kind of retired basically at the same time. Not all of them, but a good bit of them, and selected all like a whole new board, and that's when I came on as well. But Christy's been doing it since I've been on the board, and our previous officers, or we call them our advisors now, they're still with us. They still ride with us. They still help us all along the way because things come up and we're like, did this ever happen? What did you guys do if this happened?
They know the precedents.
Yeah, and so they helped us because like with COVID, we're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
How are we going to? So they kind of helped us along the way with because we were worried about membership, and normally with any crew you have to know somebody to get in, and we're like, well, what if people come that don't know? How do we get them in without turning them away? And have it, we were worried about those kinds of things. We're like, has that been an issue? Have you guys ever done that? And so some things we've had to figure out. Like it's been unprecedented. Like anything else that's happened in the world over the last 2 years. But they've been really helpful, and they're still with us, and they're we're setting up for the dinner dance, and they're there with us helping setting up too, because they have, even though they are not officers anymore, they have an invested interest in our crew, and they want to see it move forward.
So is the original captain still with the crew?
No. I don't know that I've actually ever met her. I think she passed away.
I was just curious,
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just a situation where, I know that the workload of being a captain takes a lot of,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
stop. That's an all year.
it is. It's a lot, and I think there's just been this natural progression. It's never been like, I'm done, I'm walking out. They were just kind of like, you know what, I've done all I can do. We need new people to bring in a new crowd.
Right.
And they have said there's been a couple of times where we were like, hey, I want to come up with this crazy idea and I want to blah, blah, blah. And they would just look at me and go, and this is why you're now an officer and I have moved on. Like, great idea. I don't know what that means. I'm just moving on with things. Just like when we started Twitter, they had Facebook before I got there, but when we started Twitter and Instagram, and they're like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know I know what it is, but how to use it.
Instagram is.
And it's just things like that. And then my time will come too, where I look at somebody and go, I don't know what you're talking about. This might be the time for me to move on. And
I always joke because we used to always get to ride together, but now she's on a different float and.
So we
it doesn't take away from my fun, but yeah, we do everything else.
Everything else until we get on the floats.
I need to make new friends. You can't ride with me anymore.
So she's latching on to my daughter.
Yeah.
And my sister, Jessie rides too.
Yeah, Jessie will be there too. And actually my mom rode
Last
time, we rolled. It was the first time we weren't going to be on a float together, and my mom actually made the trip with me and rode with me, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, she came and made apples with us. She's the reason for some of our glitter. Yeah,
she left her mark on the table.
She did.
Yes,
she did. She
Mom was here.
I know, it would have been funny if she spelled it out. Well, I know that you're saying that. My sister used to ride with me when I was a float lieutenant, and she stopped riding for a few years. Melissa stopped riding for a few years, but my mom passed away a few years ago, and my mom loved that we did this together. It was something we all did together. And so when everybody came back to ride again, I was like, oh, my mom would love this. It's just kind of like a family thing. And then my daughter was riding, and I was like, oh, Mom would be so excited that we're all doing something like this together.
Yeah.
So what is y'all's route for people who've never been that are looking to?
Oh gosh, you can't miss it. It's like the main
town,
part of
you'll see it.
Mandeville.
I know it is.
Like the
Cannot
barricades
miss
are
it.
already out.
Yeah.
Like they've been out for a week now.
I drove
all
into
week.
town just giddy, seeing
I
all the
know.
barricades,
Like
knowing
you
it's
get,
coming.
You get off the causeway, you're like already hitting the parade, which we try to make. So the parade starts at 6. At 7. The roads close at 6. So we try to really get that out there because for some people they need to get off of work early if they're coming across the causeway.
Yeah.
And that gets hard. Like I remember I used to have to hey, make sure you guys are all leaving work on time or leave early to get across the causeway. It's like you're stuck. You just sit there.
Yeah,
and you're stuck.
they shut
and I feel
down
bad
to
for
where really there's only a couple ways in and out.
Yeah. And there are some ways you can go.
Yeah.
But it just backs up,
Yeah.
And but I also you had to know. It's all over the place. It's Mardi Gras season. You had to know, but people get so upset about it.
When
Come
it starts, and
on.
she knows the roads. But
Well, we start. We line up between in that shopping center between TJ Maxx and Bed Bath and Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whatever that street is. So what is that street? Yeah,
I think it's 190.
that street. No, the side street.
Oh, the side street. Yeah,
St. Anne, yeah. And so we line up our floats line up there, and so that's where we load and everything, and then that's where we come out and go on 190 and go to the left, and that's where at the beginning. You guys have seen that at the beginning of the parade route. That gets bigger and bigger every year out there, and I think it's because there's so much parking. There's so much more parking out there, and all the businesses have parties and stuff like that. My family was always at the end of the parade route because that's where I lived, and they would all go to my house. And now my brother lives in that same neighborhood that I used to live in, so it's at the very end. So we travel the whole all of Mandeville, and we end right past the neighborhood Walmart. And so it's kind of cool though because we catch everything that we go past Mandeville High, not down the Mandeville High side street, but all the kids know Mandeville High, so they go and sit outside of there. We pass all the major businesses, and they all have parties in their businesses, and have their employees come out there, and it just becomes like
Depending to the last turn on Causeway Approach, it seems like a lot of people that came up just for it.
Oh, yeah.
You get a big crowd
Yeah.
right there because they just want to hop back on.
right. They can get right back on the
Yeah.
causeway.
So
yeah.
I've
That
noticed
little
that crowd
service
getting
road.
bigger. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
little service road along, I don't know what street that is,
Yeah.
but that thing just piles.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So one like right off the you're talking about right off the
Yeah, right
the,
off the
the
main
causeway and
drag,
Monroe
yeah.
Street, like that goes right there. Yeah.
No idea. They're all
Yeah.
numbers. It's like go down
Yeah.
40 to 21 to 18. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
what
I know,
you're
I do.
talking
You know, that's
about.
why I'm like, we're at TJ Maxx, and then we go to past just chilling, and then we turn by the gas station, we pass Mandeville High School, we go past Rouse's, we go
To the
and we
City
end-
Hall.
yeah,
Yeah.
past City Hall, we end past the neighborhood Walmart. Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
In fact, we joke about like we're like we need to make that route on a t-shirt, but with just the landmark.
just the
Everybody knows
landmarks.
that. The problem is if a business closes.
Yeah.
Like we used to say, we're right across from Kmart. Well, Kmart's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So people still know, like the old Kmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's all something different. Like they finally tore it down and built something else. So like newer people are not going to know the old Kmart anymore.
So I-
But I was like, now I'm that age. I'm that age where I'm like, the old Kmart. Like people used to say the old K&B.
Yeah, well, that used
stuff
to
like
be.
that. Schwegmans.
Right by the time saver, you
Yeah,
know.
time saver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yep, I'm that old
I
now.
love because I mean I lived there
Junior high.
80s like up until the mid 90s, and so I mean obviously it's grown so much, and there's some things I'm like none of this existed when
Yeah,
I
you said
when
that
I lived
yesterday,
here.
yeah.
I'm just like wow, so much. But when they refer to stuff, I'm like
Don't know where that is.
it wasn't
She
there
knows
30
where
years
PJ's
ago.
is now.
Yeah, I'm in love with PJs. I wish they
The
would
king
come to
cake
Atlanta
coffee.
if anyone's listening. King cake,
Cake,
the
cake.
velvet ice.
Yeah,
that's-
velvet ice.
I'm hooked. I've been going by there every day.
I know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I actually haven't had king cake yet. The
Yeah,
king
I'm
cake
gonna
coffee.
say,
But
yeah.
not, she's had it,
You
but
know?
not
I,
since
no,
she's
I've
been
had
here.
it, but not this trip. But
Yeah.
I usually go home half my car full of king cakes because a lot of people, like say in Atlanta, don't understand Mardi Gras, but they remember the king cake I bring back every year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we do need to go
That's-
get
yeah,
I had
gotta
it.
do that.
I went to a sushi place today, and they gave you a little slice of the Dong Fong for.
some.
dessert.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Have you ever had that
yes.
one, the Dong Fong king cake?
Mhm, I've heard
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
I like
the
it.
Randazzo's
Yeah.
is still a
Yeah.
favorite.
yeah,
but
Exactly.
it's-
Yeah, the Dong Fong one. Well, now we were just talking about it, like, oh, now that we're past all the, like, major work we got to do, we can breathe a little bit for, because now it's just coming close to parade day. Last year, I went around, there was no Mardi Gras, so I went and had the Mardi Gras cocktails that every
Mhm.
restaurant
Right.
was
Oh,
offering.
yeah, we
and
should do
we
that
would do that.
this week.
And so there was so there's a couple that like new ones pop up every year. And so I went with a friend, and there was like this Mardi Gras martini flight at our restaurant. I'm like, we're going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, like almost like shot size, but it was like a whole flight of everyone was a different Mardi Gras drink. So it was kind of cool. And I'm like, Melissa, when you come in town, we got to go
Gotta
do
that
this
on the
again. So,
chocolate.
I just got to hit up all of those fun Mardi Gras things. We still have to go do some Mardi Gras stores. We went to Flirty Girl today, did all the local things. So
Like,
she
it
gave me a
doesn't
list.
matter how much you have, you always need more
Yeah,
throws.
yeah.
It never
Yeah.
feels like enough. You always need more.
More clothes. She's like, I want the headband. I want the earrings.
Yeah.
I want that thing.
Well, it's
So,
like, but I want to wear it all when I'm here
Yeah.
because, I go back to
Well, she
Atlanta. I
gave
get
me a
like one
list.
day.
Yeah.
You sat of it, and then the rest of the time they're like,
She came in town and was like, the first thing I need to do, and it was the first thing she did before she even came to my house was, I need to go stop
My
and
new
get the
Mardi
Mardi
Gras
Gras
shoes.
shoes.
Those are
So I can
nice.
wear them to the ball. And I was like, okay. So she called me. I called her to see. I'm like, hey, where are you? And she's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to go there before I even come to your house. I'm like, I want to make sure I get them.
yeah.
Like, I
I
got
didn't
it.
want them to sell
so
out.
she's
I
like,
had to
I need to
secure
do
my
that
shoes.
first. I need to go to PJ's. I want to go to Flirty Girl. I want to go. I'm like, okay, but we do
I'll
have
make it to your house
we
eventually.
have parade stuff to do too. I was like, let's fit in all of that stuff around that.
Well, to be fair, that was on her way to your
It
house.
was. It was. Yes.
It was.
But I mean,
But we
it's-
just got to Flirty Girl today, so we were tired. we were like, we have to move today. No, let's go shop another day. Yeah, so we're gonna go hit up some Mardi Gras stores.
It's just, I mean,
a couple times this week.
I wouldn't say people here take it for granted, but yeah, just coming back is so exciting because there's nothing like this anywhere else. And Atlanta, you might find a little Mardi Gras thing here or there,
Yeah.
and like my brother always says, he's like weak. And so
Yeah,
it's
it is
just
weak.
I'm just so excited to come back each year.
So I want to thank y'all again so much for coming on today.
Thank you. For having
We've had a
us.
blast. I hope that y'all have an amazing ride.
Thanks. You
Uh,
guys too. Yeah,
You
you
too.
too.
I wish that
I'm
I
sad
could
we're
be there to
gonna
see
miss
y'all,
each
but
other, though.
on the same note, I'll be very excited myself to be
Yes.
riding in a parade first time in 2 years. So,
Yeah.
yes, hail Eve.
Thank
May y'all have an
you.
amazing ride.
Thanks.
February the 18th,
Yes.
7 o'clock,
PM.
Mandeville. If you're looking for something great to do out there, I know for a fact that it's always a beautiful parade. And I can tell from these two ladies here that it's going to be an amazing time. So be sure to check it out. Till the next show, signing out. We'll see you on the route.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy